What role has media played, if any, in your acceptance of black and white relationships in your personal and professional lives? And how, if at all, has being exposed to the media changed your way of thinking from childhood or young adult?
I would say it began as a child and watching TV and watching the news and watching the protests.
The Martin Luther King,
with the marches. Although the area I grew up in was well, anyway.
Yeah. What was what?
That was during the Robert Williams era too, in protests in Monroe, North Carolina. But just the same, when you would see the news and how the protests were treated, and to see objective news where the protesters and how brutally they were treated, and see the white reactions about, we're not going to let this they didn't use black person, by the way, come into our school. And I would just through logic think, that's not right. There's something here, and I can't go along with the status quo, Southern status quo, if you want to call it that, of African Americans and how they're treated. And as time went on with the media, and you saw some changes, some things being written as well.
How did the media portray the black people during that time?
During the protests?
Yeah, during the 60s and 70s, and how did that affect your perception of them?
It was objective. I mean, as I said, it was a time when news was more objective, and they just showed it. And to see a black man being, powered away by a water hose, it's not right. To see some of the killings that went on with the civil rights marches and the marchers who were brutally murdered, really.
What about your, did that change any of your perceptions with the acceptance of black and white relationships in your personal or professional lives? Did you have black friends?
Yes, I did in high school. Yeah.
You had that one guy that I ran into in one of my stores. That felt really hot. Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy did not see black and white. He was a black man. And he worked at the service station in town.
He was African American.
He was African American. Yeah. And he was just pure love. And because of that, we accepted him. Some of us did. There's still the prejudiced people around the area. But we accepted him. And in fact, my brother used to loan him our prize 64 GTO to go on a date. And at one time, when my brother loaded up a bunch of friends at the gas station, said, let's go get a case of beer up at the county line where they would buy beer. He said, come on, Tommy. Tommy said, me? And they said, yeah, you, come on. They went up to get a case of beer, and when they pulled up to get the service, the man who came up, white man, of course, owner, came up, said, what do you boys want? And said, a case of beer. And the guy said, I'll serve all you boys, but not that guy in the back. And my brother said,
he didn't say the guy, though. He said something. He said
something else, yeah. And my brother said, well, if you don't serve him, you don't serve us, and drove off.
Yeah. So you never had a problem being friends with the black guys that were,
No, and when I was later on in business, I hired several African American men as insurance salesmen.
Yeah.
So
how do you look at the media now in changing your perception of black men?
It's great.
And black and African and white and black couples.
It's great. It's like mixed race too. That's fine. If you love each other, that's great. And I really like the perception of African American males being more and more, they're family oriented.
Has it changed your perception? Has the media changed your perception of that? I mean, of black and white couples being okay with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah.